Soren Kierkegaard said, "There are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true. The other is to refuse to believe what is true." George Orwell told us that in a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act, while Aldous Huxley reminded us that facts do not cease to exist because they are ignored. Lastly, Joe Class said, "The truth will set you free. But first, it will piss you off." This is the news show, Whiskey Hell. Think critically. Act accordingly.
Saturday, May 4th, 8:44 p.m. in the evening. Dialing in from the middle of America. I'm going to call it the middle of America because I don't really know where it is on the map as far as I'm not looking at a map right now, so I'm just going to go for it. I'm in Fort Worth, Fitz. How you doing?
I am okay. And you are absolutely in the middle region of America. I love Dallas, Fort Worth area. Fort Worth, I like more than Dallas, except the nightlife in Dallas is, a little better. But Fort Worth, I worked in a lot of schools around Fort Worth, and great place, great people. I mean, honestly, I know the whole Texas hospitality thing, but dude, it's real. People in Texas are just the fucking best. Anyway, I'm great, and I am. Before we get to the news, I want to hear how your week's going, and then I have a business idea, a business venture that I want to throw out there to you, and then of course the chat. But first, how's your week going? Because you've been on the road, you've been finding some new breweries, you've been finding some great new beer apparently, because we've all been following that chat. So what's your week been like?
The week's been good. A little stressful at the beginning. Let's see. It was Tuesday through Thursday was all customer service week for the utility industry.
Ew.
Yeah, we all get together, sing Kumbaya, touch ourselves, and it's a great time. That's really what it is. Bunch of bigwigs get together, big circle jerk. You get to know the people you work with way too well, and then you finish. And like in my case, we decided to go ahead and stay a few extra days. So my wife and I are here. We decided to go ahead. So Thursday night it was pretty much ours. Friday, Saturday we've been done. We actually honestly we didn't even go out much today. We went to one steakhouse today, but that was pretty much it. Yesterday we bounced around to a whole bunch of breweries like we were talking about. We found this kick-ass rare spirits store. And the name escapes me right now, but that was crazy because this was everything up there. Everything there was like $60 and up to like thousands of dollars. It was just insane.
Jesus.
But I gotta tell you something. I'm falling in love with Fort Worth.
Yeah.
I didn't want to admit this going in, but I really, really love it. The people are wonderful. Everybody is so damn nice.
Yep.
It's just incredible. It really, really is.
I know. I know it's a special place. It really is. I mean, people like to poke fun at Texas, and I did for a lot of years because I had never been there. And then when I started traveling there frequently, I'm with you, man. I really Joe Rogan, he picked Austin for a reason. He picked Texas for a reason when he left LA.
Right.
And a lot of other people are too. There's a real vibrant community there, very artistic and yet very down to earth and realistic culture that it's addictive. And like you said, they're just the sweetest goddamn people. And it's not fake, it's genuine.
Oh, it is absolutely genuine. And honestly, when somebody says howdy, it's not it is a genuine hello. Like they're interested.
It's not corny. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
There's customer service. There's all these things that we don't have. There's There's not a coffee shop on every fucking corner.
Amen.
And I enjoyed the shit out of that. Now, it was pretty quiet during the week because there's not a lot of people downtown, and that's where we are. We're actually in the Worthington, which shitty hotel. It just sucks. I've been in better. Fortunately, work paid for most of it. But I just freaking dig. I dig it. I dig the atmosphere. I dig the people. It's clean. They don't have much of a homeless problem, which was surprising for a pretty big city. You get out on the outskirts, still just awesome. And I can't wait to talk about Martin House Brewing. That's going to be my brewer tonight. So super excited about it. And Hefe, you're here for the start of the show.
Right.
What the fuck is going on? I didn't even see you pop in, man.
I pop quietly.
Yeah, you do. You fucking
Really?
you're the ninja. You're the rapey ninja of whiskey hell, man.
I will wear that title with pride.
so you're a quiet one then. You're like a soft moan, or just how does that work?
Well, I'll tell you. Over the years, I've just been in situations, whether it was with nosy roommates or
Excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I resemble that remark.
No, I don't know. I'm not super loud. Put it that way. Let's leave it at that.
Neither am I. I'm not super loud either.
Yeah.
But I'm not like.
I
don't sing anything. Ride of the Valkyries isn't being played or anything like that.
No, I'm a fucking banshee.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know you know, because I also had nosy roommates for a lot of years. So how's the night going, man?
Well, I told you those cameras were for security purposes, right?
Right. No, I know. You didn't do anything weird with any of that footage. I know that.
The night sucks.
Oh no.
But I got cool, like an olive green, Cinco de Mayo shirt on. They let us wear these T-shirts and jeans. Kind of cool, but it's not translating to more players, unfortunately. Not yet. It's still very early. I went on break and I was just eating my vanilla Jello pudding, looking at the our little chat, and I saw still on for a 6:30 start, and I was like, "Oh shit, 6:30 start." I must have missed that during the week, but so I ran out here real quick.
That's all right. That's all right. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, that is okay. And I want to clarify two things that you just said, and I'm not nitpicking here. I love that you're employed and that you're gainfully employed and that you're doing your thing, but I hate to tell the people running the casino, it's May 4th. It's not Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, we should have special May 4th shirts.
Yeah, you should have had like May the 4th be with you kind of shirts, not. And I'm sorry, damn it, I wasn't going to mention that tonight. I just wasn't, but I did anyway. The other thing is, how come the shirts are green? Like that's not even one of your casino colors, is it?
No, I don't know why it is. When we had what were we celebrating? We had
St. Patrick's Day, and they just decided to go ahead and reuse them.
No, we had shirts for fuck. I can't remember what holiday it was. It was shit, never mind. I can't even jog my memory at all.
Kwanzaa. It was Kwanzaa. I remember this.
No, it was
Thanksgiving, because I would think in a native casino they'd really celebrate that one.
We were celebrating like Jamaica and stuff like that. They gave us shirts and you could dress up and stuff, but it couldn't be any hint of marijuana or anything like that. But those were black shirts with the
Whoa,
green.
That's racist, dude.
That's very
Damn.
Those are dark.
Jesus. The other thing, does anyone else find it odd that like Cinco de Mayo is so clearly not an American holiday. And yet, because we have so many migrants here from Mexico, it's just an excuse for the rest of us Americans to just drink, just like St. Patty's Day.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
that's all it is.
there's a lot of Irish and a lot of Mexicans here.
Yeah, nachos, tequila, and falling down. That's pretty much how it works.
There you go.
And it's on a Sunday this year. It's on a Sunday this year, so that's going to be. I don't know.
Oh, do you know how many people are going to call out on Monday? Fuck.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're SOL. Do you guys up in the Great Northwest there? Do you guys celebrate Cinco de Mayo?
I mean, some people do. I mean, I don't. I don't. I mean, but there's a pretty good, a pretty healthy Mexican contingent here in Eugene. I mean, there's quite a few migrant families, and I think a lot of them came in that big push during the 70s and 80s. I don't think they've been here a while. They're not new placements. They've been here a while. So yeah, there's a definite Cinco de Mayo vibe going on around here this weekend. Hey, and L, just so you know, me too. Tequila makes me do very bad things, and both Hefe and McShane can attest to. They've seen a couple of my exploits when I drink tequila. So yeah, tequila's a no-go for me.
Dude, I'd walk around the house with a bottle of tequila. That was my drink too, once upon a time.
I remember. Yep, I remember.
But you've used that one time. That's all it takes.
Yep, that and Ghost Schlager.
Yeah.
I can't do anything even close to cinnamon flavored like Goldschlager because I poured it in everything that New Year's Eve.
I can't drink Red Bull by itself because of the Red Bull and vodka.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't drink that stuff at all. Not at all.
What was your quote? It's like a rainbow in my throat.
Yeah.
It's like a rainbow in my throat. You know what? That sounds like that should be on a Pride March. That should be on Pride March merch.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's a rainbow in my throat.
You're right. Oh, okay. All right. Hefe, while you're here, how much more time do you have, Hefe?
Like a minute.
God damn it. I have a huge business proposal, man. I want to pitch it to you guys.
Well,
I'll be back in an hour.
All right. I mean, I guess I can hold it. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be a cool way to open the show, but then Hefe comes in and steals everything. So whatever.
What?
That's what he does, though. That's his role.
I know.
That's his jam.
Steal the thunder. I mean, he's only here for 15 minutes, so like, do your damage, and then,
15 minutes of fame, right?
Yep.
That's
right.
it. Every Saturday night.
So I'll break at 8 and then maybe 9. I don't know if you guys are still going to be on at 9, but definitely 8.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Bueno. All right, man.
Later.
Hasta.
All right.
I'm just gonna throw in every Spanish word I know.
Yep. Donde está el baño, Fitz?
Yeah. Well, I'm pointing to it. So.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
El Pointo. Yeah. Anyway, well, good for you for getting over to, like I said, one of my favorite parts of the country. I really do love the folks in Texas in general. But I really, I spent a lot of time in Lubbock, a little bit of time in Amarillo, but Dallas Fort Worth. I just love that area.
Yeah,
love it.
I was really impressed, and I mean, this would be like a good meetup area too if we ever did something like that. So, lots of stuff to do, and like I said, good people.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
So you had a pretty decent week, I'm gathering.
No. Oh no. Nope.
No.
It was awful. No.
Really?
It's a terrible week. Yeah, it was just
All right.
yeah, it's a terrible week. But I made it. It's one of those crucibles that you just keep putting your head down and slogging through. And today, I was telling everybody when you had to pop off for a little bit and do some technical stuff.
Yeah.
I was telling everybody today was just particularly frustrating. It was one of those days where, every fucking thing I wanted to do, it was like I had to make 3 rights to make a left every time. You can't just go up and make a left. You got to do it the dumb way. And so it was just
frustrating.
Yeah. But I will say I did get in a very hearty nap this afternoon, which was much needed because when I woke up from that, I was in a much better mood. So I'm ready. It's gonna
Good.
be a good show. You know what? Weird to say, we kind of have a light doc.
We
For
do have a light
once,
dock.
it's not a monster.
It's not a monster. It's a really light week. So I think, yeah, we might get a little chatty tonight. So we'll see. Maybe a little ridiculous. We'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, not a lot on there on the dock that's really going to be. It just wasn't a heavy week, which was good because, I mean, busy week. But they must be ramping up for something. The show content just wasn't there.
Yeah.
But we'll make it there. And that's the important thing.
Yeah. We will.
Big thank you before we get started here with our beers. Beer to Liberty, Calliope, Aaron. Aaron's Esteban, Lord of the Dark Guitar tonight. Joe Bonnick, L. Gray's Tap Room. That's Mike and Tabby are here tonight. So thank you, all of you, for being in chat.
We got a full house tonight. Full boat. Everybody grab an oar. We're gonna take this bitch all the way to shore.
Yeah. Hey, that just rhymed. That was good.
I know. I didn't mean for that to happen, but I am brilliant like that sometimes.
Run with it.
Yeah.
What beer do you have over there?
Oh, fuck me. God damn it. Hold on.
Did you not pour the beer?
Dude, no. I've got my side bitch and I was enjoying that. Shit. All right. Hold on.
So,
all right. There it is. Cracking it.
We're so obviously I'm recording in Fort Worth and I'm on one screen and I can't tell you how much of a change that is. So I really appreciate when I'm at home and I've got everything going there. But hotel Wi-Fi, hopefully everything stays together. I'm hoping everything looks good so far. So I'm hoping
so far it's holding together. A little bit of duct tape and some spit. I think we're okay. All right. So mystery beer. It is a Block 15 from Block 15 Brewery. We've talked about this before. Block 15's website it's terrible. They have their their tap houses on there. They have some really great pictures of Oregon, and some events that they have coming up, but they don't list their beers. They list their tap. You can go their tap list at their different brew houses, but they don't show you anything that they're actually canning and putting out to the public. So I have no idea what this is other than the fact it is a Block 15. They do lean towards the IPAs, specifically Pacific Northwest IPAs. So it poured a golden, but with a touch of brown. So it's like a deep amber. It's actually a really beautiful beer. It poured a little bit darker than I would have figured. So I don't know if this is going to be a straight IPA. No, no, it smells fruity. Smells fruity. There's absolutely zero head left on this thing, and I just poured it. I mean, you heard me. So there's no head left on it. So I don't know. Let's see what we got.
Is it a Belgian?
You nailed it. It's exactly what it is. It's
Okay.
a Belgian. It's might be a farmhouse, but there's too much banana in there. It's a Belgian for sure. I'm even gonna say
sounds like a big triple. Or a full quad? Is it that sweet?
Nah, I think it's no, it's not. Maybe
wants
a
to know if
triple.
it's suckable.
No, she wants to know fuckable.
Oh, dude.
I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, Elle, and I'm going to move in close for this one because I want you to hear this. If I'm being perfectly honest, I would fuck any beer. Any beer. I'll fuck it. I'll fuck it till it's pink in the mouth. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to say this is probably a double. I don't think it's a triple, but let's see. Let's see what we got.
All right. What do you got there?
I'm pulling the condom off. I'm unsheathing. Oh, dude, you got it. This one is illuminated. This is a Belgian style triple. So, yep, 8.9%. Really, really well done beer. I do like Belgians. If I'm gonna do a Belgian, I like them to be triples or even quads.
Yep.
And so I'm very happy with this thing. It's a lot of banana in there. And you sometimes you get the earthy sort of um, herbs
Right.
in there. This one's I don't there's no herbage at all in this. This is like straight up banana, fresh, clean. You you could absolutely kill two or three of these and really not realize that you were not able to walk home.
Beautiful. That's
Yeah,
a
it's
fantastic starter.
very clean, very nice. So anyway, that's my first offering. I'm really enjoying it. Not a sex beer for me, although as I said, I'm easy. I mean, really, once you just look down towards my crotch area, that's it. I'm good. Let's do this. What are you drinking?
All right. So went to several brew houses while we were here. But one of them that I kept asking about because it seemed like, because it's one of the older brewers here, nobody wanted to talk about these guys. But yeah, Martin House. Yeah, they do some crazy stuff there. So it's almost like they weren't treating them as a real brewer.
Huh.
I have to tell you, Fitz, this is one of the best brewers I have ever been to. They did wild
Wow.
stuff and they nailed every beer style I had. We did 4 flights yesterday. That's approximately 20 beers.
I was
No,
gonna
I'm
say
sorry.
that's
It was 10, 5. Yeah,
that's a
actually, that was
significant
20
amount
beers.
of beer. Yeah, and not only is it a significant amount of beer, it's you're changing it up. I mean,
Yeah.
all of us know, if you have a stout and
Hmm.
then you have a lager on top of it, that's gonna make you way more fucked up than two stouts or two
Yeah.
lagers.
Well, I will tell you, I didn't get jacked up on this. I didn't because there were 4-ounce pours. Had a little
Okay.
help as far as drinking through them, so I probably didn't have as much as I could have. But every one of these beers, they had 5 beers on the list that were quote unquote easy drinkers. Their easy drinker goes up to like 8 ABV.
Well, it is
Almost
Texas.
almost everything else ranged from mid 6s all the way up to the 17 percenter.
Holy what? 17?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It
Dude,
was
that's higher than
sick.
most wines.
Well, let me tell you this: the beer that I've got tonight is called Murder Maid. It is a whiskey barrel aged black goza.
Oh,
It's
what? A black goza?
11.6. Yes, I have a
How do you even
unicorn
do
here.
that?
I don't know, but there goes. We had the one of their regular versions, and they absolutely nailed it. I mean, I've never had a goza that was that clean, that it was just meaty and wonderful, and it was rich. It was just a fucking experience. It was
For the
so damn good.
for the audience, first of all, dude, I feel like our next meetup needs to be in Fort Worth because I want to go to this brewery.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, first of all, for you to be that impressed with it, I mean, McShane and I collectively have been to hundreds, maybe even 1,000 different breweries in our time, and so for you to say that this is like one of your favorites, that's huge. Second of
Yeah.
all, for the audience out there, if you're not into beers, a goza is typically a light yellow sour
Yeah.
that is
It,
typically a pretty easy drinker, a 4 to 6 percenter. Sometimes they do cucumber stuff in it. It's refreshing. It's a nice sour.
right.
I've never even heard of a black goza. That's so when you
Yeah.
say a unicorn, I feel like you have a unicorn that also has a horn on its dick. Like it's got a spiked penis. It's
Yeah.
a double unicorn.
It is absolutely crazy. I'm gonna go and take a drink here because
Yeah.
usually it's just a salt beer.
Right. Right.
Oh, oh, that is just nuts. And it's 10 point. You get the barrel, you get malt, then you get this dry salt, almost a wine farmhouse texture to it. I gotta. Oh my gosh. I gotta show you the artwork on this can real quick.
Okay.
There she is.
Oh God.
That's Murder Maid. And
Oh
I'm
God.
telling you, this beer is everything that is.
I'm in love with her. She's like a fucking anime, like
Cyberpunk.
mech cyborg. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
And she looks
Anyway,
angry, which kind of, I don't know why is that hot? I think because you know what? Because for in my head, I'm like, all right, I pissed her off, but there's gonna be makeup sex later. That's why that's hot.
yeah. She's got a little Eon Flux to her too.
Yeah, yes, very much so. That's a good call.
So I was incredibly impressed by this beer, or I am, and then everything that we had there. And I have another one. I've got a stout that I'm gonna have later. But they had two 17%ers, and we were talking in the pregame. Well, actually, before when Hefe was on about Goldschlager, right?
Yeah.
You remember Fireball? No, I'm sorry. Remember Fire and Ice, the alcohol
Oh
that
God,
came
yes.
together, those bottles. They had a Fire Cello and Ice Cello. Both of them they're ales,
Okay.
but they tasted exactly like Fire and Ice or Goldschlager and
Peppermint
Rumplemintz.
schnapps or whatever the fuck that was. Yeah,
They
Rumplemintz,
nailed
that's
it,
what it was. Yeah.
and they were both 17%.
Holy cow! This place, it sounds like they're like the McKellers of Texas. Like
They are.
they're mad scientists.
I would put them. No, I would go better than McKellar, and I would put them in the same crazy ass vein as Drecker.
Oh, okay.
They are
Okay.
absolutely wild, absolutely wild. So
I
that's
mean,
what we're starting off with.
so you were mentioning those beers. I did tell you about the twins that I had in one of my programs, and their names were Orangelo and Lamangelo. Did I tell you about them?
Yes, I do remember them.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And it was spelled orange jello and lemon jello. That's by far the craziest fucking names I ever saw. But it was pronounced Orangelo and Lamangelo. And I'm not, you know, that was their God-given names. I'm not fucking around here. That's literally what they. Anyway, I hope those two boys are men by now. That was 20 years ago, dude. I mean, they were eight or nine when they were in my program, so they probably have families and shit. And I hope they chose good baby names. Anyway, if you're out there, boys, love you both. Nothing but love.
Nothing but love.
Yeah, Orangelo and Lamangelo. Anyway,
For Calliope, I had two pickle beers.
oh
And
yeah,
Fitz, they were amazing. One was a pickle beer, just a straight sour pickle beer. It was called Best Made. I've got it right here.
yep.
And then there was one that was the same base, and they threw pineapple up against it.
Oh, right. That just sounds crazy. First of all, you had a DP of pickle beers.
Yes.
And I don't
I
mean
took-
double
yes.
penetration. I mean double pickle.
Right.
Right. This is a DP of pickle beers. Right.
Anyway, all right. So if you go to Texas, the people are wonderful. The brewers, this brewery especially. I wasn't real crazy about one other one I went to. I wasn't real crazy about Hop Fusion, and it's kind of funny because I think we get Hop Fusion out in Arizona. But Martin House, you got to go there, hang out for a while. It's fantastic. I was just blown away. Five stars.
Yeah, dude. That's awesome. I'm totally in. And you have to specify. I think with some states you can say, hey, if you go to Vermont, make sure you go to this brewery because Vermont's really small and stupid, right? But Texas, you have to specifically say if you go to Dallas Fort Worth, because believe me, Lubbock is nowhere near Dallas Fort Worth. So if I went to Lubbock, I wouldn't make it to that brewery. That's like a 2.5-3 hour drive, I think.
Yep.
So yeah, but that's awesome. I've never even heard of that brewery, and so you found a fucking nugget. And again, I think we should start setting up some of these destination weekends, or long weekends or whatever, where we just go and invade a brewery or a city and check out all their breweries. And, I mean, Vegas was great. The AVNs was amazing, but we need more destinations. We need to get out and about and, glad hand the high rollers.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So, May the 4th be with you. I know we were not going to talk about that, but I came across this idea for a poll. And I wrote it the way I wrote it on purpose.
Yeah. No, it's good. I like it.
And the whole premise was not Democrats versus Republicans. That wasn't the point. If it's that, then it's the uniparty. Come on, it is the evil empire. Period.
Right.
But the idea that I wanted to get here was in honor of the 4th, or May the 4th be with you. In honor of that, which is more like the evil empire, liberals or conservatives? And hands down, liberals are winning. We still have several hours left. 34 votes, 82% of folks that chimed in leaned into liberals, and 17.6% into conservatives. And I think that's accurate. I think that's totally accurate. And there's no bias there. It's just who's limiting free speech, who's trying to take away things, who's faking like they're going to protect rights, and who's about to jack up taxes because Biden doesn't want to go ahead and renew Trump's tax breaks. I think it's accurate. I think it's right on point.
I do too. And what's funny is even at the very height of my distaste and displeasure with conservatives, which was probably shortly after 9/11, when you and I started going down that rabbit hole, and it kind of looked like there were some Republican players involved in 9/11, and I'm not going to go into that conspiracy theory. If you want us to do a deep dive on it, we definitely will. But people in the Bush administration and all of their cronies were the ones making tons of money. Halliburton made billions of dollars off of wars in the Middle East, and we killed a lot of really innocent people over there and left them out to dry, culminating in the spectacular evacuation of Afghanistan last year. But even at my height of my dislike and distrust of conservatives, there were still things about the Conservative Party that I could look at and respect and agree with and actually get on board with. I just didn't like their war hawk stance on let's walk loudly and carry the biggest stick and just beat everybody into submission. I'm just not. That's not who I am as a person. But to flip it, and now we're here. There's literally nothing in that I guess liberal mindset that I can identify with anymore. I mean, and I have a heart. I want to be there for people. I think people need help at times. People need a leg up at times. But how far the liberals have taken everything. I mean, it's so condescending. It's like a little pat on your head and like, oh, you're too stupid to understand everything that's going on, so we're going to take away TikTok, or pat on the head. You really can't handle your life, and so we're going to provide services for you to make sure that all of your responsibility is taken away from you. I mean, issue after issue after issue, they are landing so far away from what's A, realistic, and B, what gives me respect and some sort of like self-determination as an individual, as a life form, that I actually physically get I have a physical reaction to the liberal and especially the far left woke mindset. I can't go there. And I of course I'm speaking personally. This is not a whiskey health statement. This is a Fitz statement only. I'm just saying I can't identify with anything they're talking about anymore. I mean, when I saw this poll, it was so easy for me to vote. I didn't even have to think about it. It was like, oh, fuck the liberals. um, and in the same breath, I am for, human rights. I'm for sexual orientation rights. I'm for, racial rights. I'm for women's rights. I'm for all of these things, these liberal issues. It's not the issues I have a problem with. It is how far the liberal agenda has taken it to these parts of like absurdity, these places where you go, that doesn't even make sense what you're saying. You've gone so far that way that you're actually a racist fucking asshole now. You're a bigot because you won't even consider a white straight man's opinion because you hate on every straight white man. I mean, it's just crazy to me. Anyway, I'm done. I'm really glad you put this poll out, and I don't think I'm the only one feeling this way.
No, I don't think you are. I don't think any of us are. Modern liberalism is so very far from classic liberalism.
Right.
Beard, that's from Beer to Liberty in chat. I couldn't agree more. I've always been fiscally conservative. I think we should be smart with our money. That doesn't seem, crazy to me. And socially, I've always leaned liberal. I don't mind helping out those that actually need help. I'm very much against putting people into a position where you have to take my charity, though, so that until you absolutely depend on me and then I control it, and that's what we're going down to. So it's frustrating, but I thought that poll kind of hit this morning. So.
Yep. No. Well done. I'm not even sure why I had to go on that rant, but it's just.
No, that was a good rant.
I guess
it was a necessary rant, I thought. I mean, it's where we are.
Yeah. I guess just because when I saw the poll, it was like, I didn't even think twice. I wasn't even like, well, let me think about this. It was like, fuck the liberals.
No.
Vote.
Yeah. Yeah. It is very, very one-sided right now. When you have if you have somebody who's willing to go in and say that your opinion does not matter, like anybody who has a conservative opinion is nowadays, you're automatically racist. You're automatically against, you're automatically against the poor. You're automatically against whatever it is. You are so far down that road. That's evil empire time. It is. It just is. Right. Now, fortunately, I don't think they don't really scare me, but you get enough ants in one area, they can do a lot of damage. Like what we're seeing on some of these protests.
Oh, hey! Before we get to the protests, can I tell you a joke, a good dad joke?
Please do.
What's All right, this is wow. I love it when I change gears like this. All right, what's worse than ants in your pants?
What's worse?
Uncles in your pants.
Da 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 da.
All right. Let's move on. What's the next story? Protests. Fuck Hamas. I mean, wait, Israel. I mean, wait. I don't even know where those places are on a map. What?
This
Hamas
week
is not a
on
place.
Protesting. No. This week on protesting for terrorists.
Yeah.
Things did not get any better, but we did have some amusing things happen, which I thought were at least funny enough to mention. We have a New York, and this will be a good debate here. Professor says college students aren't having enough sex, so they're turning to anti-Israel protests.
I'm so glad he said this. I actually think he's right.
I can't argue with it, because if you've looked at a lot of those people, they're not having sex.
No, they're not. They're what we would have referred to back in the day as, losers. And you know what? I just remember, going back to when Hefe was on and talking about when we were all living in that house together, and
right.
My sole purpose in life was to, I won't say purpose. I will say my sole motivation in life after work was to get laid. That's all that occupied my brain. I mean, that's it. I was trying to be funny and outlandish, that I got some too. And these kids, these people are not doing any of that. So I guess they're mad about I don't know, dude. I'm so lost in all of this. We have lost our center, and so you it's so easy day to day to just flip flop from extremes. But I actually I do think this college professor's onto something here because I was too busy thinking about getting laid to do any of this shit.
NYU professor Scott Galloway said that college campuses were increasingly becoming reminiscent of Nazi Germany and attributed the reason partly to young people not having enough sex. We need to enjoy sex, Galloway offered, to some initial confusion during an appearance on Real Time with Bill Maher. I think part of the problem is young people aren't having enough sex, so they go on the hunt for fake threats. And the most popular threat through history is anti Semitism. Galloway appeared on the show with former CNN host Don Lemon, which Don Lemon also went off of the same show, and he started saying that wokeism has gone too far. So he's trying to pivot his show there, which we don't even have to get into it because it's stupid. But that was what one of his main points was while he was on there. I think there's validity to that.
I do.
I totally do. Sure. I think there is. I'm always happier when I'm having sex. I'm less stressed. I feel better. You've got more confidence. You got a little bit of swagger to you. It's easier to get through the day, especially if you're looking forward to something. I completely get it. I totally get it.
I mean, that's, the serotonin release alone, all the dopamines. I mean, that alone would make us all, on a scale from 1 to 10, that would all give us a boost of like 2 every day. Just to start out your day. So yeah, and also, I don't know how they're like thinking clearly. Clearly they're not, because they don't even know what the fuck they're out there for. But how can you think clearly with all that baby batter like backed up in your system? Like you got to exit that shit, man. Yeah. Constantly angry. I don't know.
Saw a lot of interesting stuff this week. We had Gaza solidarity camps. We saw camps getting rushed by cops. Oh, look at all the in this Colin Rugg article.
Same colored tents.
Same colored tents. It's really amazing how that
They
works.
must have all shopped at REI.
At the same time.
At the same time, and those tents are on sale. Jesus.
Hey, so I didn't see that Banana Side was going to be trending this week. That was pretty awesome, though. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, so this was a weird story. Let's touch on this story because I felt like, this for sure it got buried because nobody wanted to talk about it, the fact that it happened and why it happened. But then, like, if you really like go and dissect it, it's like, wait, what? Let's get into this one.
So I believe it was at Columbia. I'm not. Let me make sure of that though. Oh, I'm sorry. It was UCLA. There was a liberated zone, and part of their new constitution was eating bananas in public was forbidden by law. So again, this is one of those little encampments. They made their own constitution. They got their little fascist order there, and yes, I meant it just like that. And they decided that bananas are illegal because somebody there is allergic to them. So when they had this list posted, counter protesters showed up and started eating bananas, and everybody went apeshit. It was amazing. It was trending on Twitter. Hashtag Bananaside was all over the place, and it just made these idiots look even worse than what they could have. It was just amazing.
So, I work with kids. I work in schools. I'm running a school right now, essentially, and peanut allergies are a thing, and they're a big deal. If we have a peanut allergy in the room, then not only can we not serve peanuts, which we don't, peanut butter, anything related to peanuts, we also can't let kids bring their lunches in if they have peanut butter, because it's just it's a life and death situation. And so that's honoring that person. That's saying, hey, I respect you and your allergy and your ability to, live and thrive in this classroom. I feel like the initial message here was that, like, hey, we have a person that, because a banana allergy can induce anaphylaxis, and it can kill you. It's not, I don't think it's as common as a peanut allergy. It doesn't happen as quickly, but it can kill somebody. So that being up front, and this is a protest, right? This is a protest in America. It's totally uncool to show up with a bunch of fucking bananas. And they were starting to like chuck them, like throw them. It's getting everywhere. If you want to prove your point, like you could show up with a poster board that shows like Joe Biden, deep throating a banana or something. Like that would be funny and okay. I would laugh at that. But to bring an actual thing that could kill a person because you don't agree with their opinion, I feel like we kind of lost the message here. We kind of lost our humanity, and maybe we lost it years ago. I don't know, but the shit I'm seeing, I'm like, what are you thinking? You're not thinking. That's the point, I guess. Nobody's
this
thinking.
one doesn't bother me. This one doesn't bother me at all. Okay, one person out of your whole encampment. That person can stay away from any flung bananas. You shouldn't be throwing a banana anyway. That's kind of stupid. But as I think they've gone bananas. There's a lot of jokes we can come from. I can't take this one seriously though. I mean,
I'm not.
She's sitting there dancing with she's got an Israeli flag wrapped around her. She's dancing while she eats a banana. I'm like, okay. It's just they're mocking a bunch of idiots. That's what they're doing.
I understand that. I also think there's better ways to mock somebody than to bring the thing that could kill them. You know what I mean? Like, we're not talking about a fear of spiders, right? And I dump a bunch of spiders on you, and they're not going to hurt you. Like, we're talking about a thing that could actually kill you, and I'm throwing it all over the place you're going to be.
I don't know. Heard of banana allergy.
Oh, it's a thing, dude. Yeah, and it can absolutely cause anaphylaxis. So I mean, which also, if you have that allergy, like you don't know in your day when you're going to encounter somebody, deep throating a banana. So I'm sure they have an EpiPen on them at all times. If they don't, then, that's probably not smart. So, I mean, to your point, yes, I feel like it got way overblown. But on the flip side of it, like, you're there protesting because people are dying in another country that you can't even point to on a map. And yet you're going to just you're just going to dismiss that and say, I'm going to bring the thing that might kill you and be a dick about it. I don't know. It seems very dichotomous to me.
Well, maybe let's see if you can get behind what the University of Chicago needs. Updated list of supplies that they really need to be able to continue protesting. Table, needed most urgent. Heat gloves, needed most. Wound packing gauze. Are you expecting a lot of wounds? Portable chargers.
Bullet wounds.
Kerlix gauze, cat tourniquets, ace bandages, 4x4 gauze, ABD pads for wounds. Are you expecting Armageddon? Apparently, you're getting. Now, this seems aggressive to me when I read through.
Oh,
this.
It does totally. Yeah, you're basically assuming you're going to get shot and or stabbed.
Trauma shears, emergency bandages and goggles, Vaseline.
Well, yeah. I mean, for all the anal sex, of course.
Right. Yes, exactly. Tweezers, CPR masks. They only want 2 of them though. Butterfly sutures, disposable stethoscopes for playing doctor, camping sink, buckets with lids, helmets, HIV test, dental dams, and Plan B.
Because they're out there partying and fucking, but okay.
Right? It has to be.
What's a diva cup? Do you know what a diva cup is?
Yeah, that's a menstruation thing.
Oh, okay. Oh! I didn't know that's what they were called. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Chat, and then they've got some other stuff. But why? Who puts this out there and expects to have your Hey, let's go to a totally different direction. These are all being started and funded by Soros and the Rockefellers. Rockefellers
Yeah,
dropped this week too.
yeah, exactly. They're being funded by very rich people living in very big houses, very far away from these protests. Yes.
So what I'm hearing is the funding is gone. The effect happened. You were used, and now we're not gonna help you anymore. That's what I see.
I mean, it used to be like a proper protest. Like, you went out there at your own peril. You were suffering. You were away from your bed, your creature comforts at home, your family, so that you could make a point to somebody who was gonna fucking listen. What the fuck? What? Hey, I need chapstick? What? Fuck you.
Well,
bring your own goddamn chapstick. Or you know what? Just have chap lips. How about that?
Well, you're protesting, right? I mean, you should be able to be able to go ahead and handle this. You're putting yourself out there, right?
That's what I'm saying. This is voluntary. It's voluntary. Yeah.
Well, it gets better. UCLA Palestine Solidarity Encampment needs headlamps, airsoft goggles, gas mask respirators, skater helmets, shields, wood for barrier, knee and elbow pads, rain ponchos, canopies, utility gloves, super bright flashlights with strobe and charged umbrellas. Medical, non-steroid inhalers, headlamps, EpiPens, organizational bins. And then food, they want hot food, vegan food, gluten food. They need ice. They don't want hot food. They need cold ice. But they refuse no packaged food, no coffee, no bagels, no bananas, no nuts.
That is so funny. Vegan food and gluten-free food. Like, I still want to honor my ridiculous fucking bitch ass commitment.
These are schools that have students who are there, and their parents are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for their education.
Yeah.
And if they don't get their fucking Starbucks, they're not going to be able to protest right. That's what this has come down to.
Unbelievable. Weakest generation ever. I'm going to say it. Weakest generation ever. And that's a broad brush stroke. I know there's some badasses within this generation, but as a whole, they're fucking morons and they're weak. Well, which is why I'm not afraid of them.
No, you can't be. There's no way. And this video, I'm not sure who this guy is. J.R. Homestead. They took plastic bins, right? Garbage bins.
Trash cans. Yeah.
Trash cans. And they made them into shields.
Yeah, they cut them into like quarters or maybe fifths.
Yeah.
And then glued something on the back where that made it a shield. And then they ran at the cops. I mean, that charge was like, first of all, he has a gas mask on. There's no gas. The cops don't have gas masks on. They're not going to discharge stuff. So what are you doing? And second of all, he ran up to him and just kind of like, he just kind of like, jumped into him, and the cop just pushed him down to the ground and then fucking cuffed him and arrested him. You fucking bitches.
No, you know what that was? They had a conversation. I'm going to walk you through the conversation after the guy got arrested. Okay. He said, "Look, dude, I just wanted out of there. I didn't mean to hurt you. I hope you. I'm glad you hit me. Just get me the fuck out of here. This is stupid.
These guys are
They're all fucking crazy. I just need you to just take me away from here. Slap me with a misdemeanor, whatever. I'm so sorry I hit you.
Yeah,
I'll do community service, please. I just wanted to save face because Betty was gonna give me a BJ later."
Yeah, and she's ugly as fuck, and she used to be a he, so there's that.
This is like the worst SNL skit I've ever seen.
Oh God, it's so bad. I mean, every time you watch it, you just see something new that's just like, what were they thinking? It's like super, super unorganized. Like, there's a bunch of people running, and then these two guys go out in front, like they're just on their own, and everybody else is kind of hanging back. Like, all right, let's see how this goes. Let's see how the plastic trash can shields go.
That's
shit!
Not good.
Oh shit! John just got knocked down. Oh, there's cuffs on him. Oh, everybody turn around and run!
Run away!
Secondly, it's like the one guy. So the two guys. You have to watch the video. Two guys break off, and they're up ahead. And then there's a third guy that has a shield, and he's literally running with it like, God damn it, I don't know how to describe this without sounding like an awful person. But he's running with it like he's running down
He's never run before.
No, watch him. Watch. He's running with it out to the side like he's running down a gay runway or something. Like, hello, I'm here for the protests. Look at my shield. It's pink. Like, that's the voice I would give him if I saw him running like that. Like, hey, I'm here. What's going on? Watch him. Like, a shield is, like, the purpose of it is supposed to be in front of you to shield you. Watch him. Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm coming. Come over.
Come over.
Come over. Oh God, I'm a terrible person, and I totally admit that. But this is bad. So I guarantee you. Go ahead, dude. No, go ahead. I'm done.
Think about what was happening last year and the year before in Hong Kong.
Right.
Okay, when China was locking down Hong Kong.
Oh yeah.
That was a legit uprising.
Oh yeah.
That was we're locking down blocks. And they weren't messing around. They were armed. All that stuff that was in all the armament. We want helmets. We want the goggles. We want the umbrellas. All that stuff was the same kind of stuff that was being used in Hong Kong. But when you looked at that, and I don't want it to escalate to that level. I really don't. But because I think this is fucking stupid. But when you looked at that, the protest, that was life and death. That was for freedom.
Yep.
This is a bunch of college kids trying to get out of finals.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's exactly right. I mean,
you saw that some of them are actually asking to get out of finals now that they've been traumatized.
Yep, they want it canceled. They want finals canceled, and just give me my fucking degree. I'm out of here. Yep. And if a bunch of like proper criminals, proper villains, as he says in Ocean's 11, or even just you and me, dude, I'd be, if I was gonna fashion a shield, it wouldn't be out of plastic and wood. I mean, I would be there to fucking throw down. And like you were quoting the Hong Kong, those guys brought out like legit fucking like hardened wood, laminated hardened wood staffs and bow sticks, and fucked up the cops. The cops are actually afraid of that mob.
Yeah, they had to bring a lot more cops to deal with the mob, and they still didn't want to get in there.
Right. They were bringing their heavy plexiglass shit because those people were there to fight. This is kitty shit. This is a 5-year-old running at you, and you just laugh and you go, okay, hit me with what you got, dude. Yikes.
I do want to point out. Do we want to go? Let's not do. All right, I want to go here first. So the frat party. We've got a GoFundMe going here. University of North Carolina frat bros defended their flag. Throw them a rager. So these fraternity, Phi Theta Kappa, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Some Greek bullshit.
Some of the brothers were walking around and they saw that they were taking an American flag down at the UNC encampment, and they got over there, stopped it from taking it down, put the flag back up, and they weren't going to let a Palestinian flag fly over their campus. So the American flag's up there, they're standing. So then they go ahead and they get this big ring, and they are just like locked in. You're not going to get near it. There's more of us than there are of you, and we're willing to throw down. That's what it came down to.
And dude, this is how far we've flipped. Is never in a million years would I ever thought that I would be saying that I am on the side of a bunch of frat boys.
Totally.
I never would I have thought that. But here I am, and I support these guys 100%. 100%.
So I gotta read this. So first of all, they made $516,000. $516,000, okay, to throw a rager, okay, to throw a party celebrating the fact that they defended the flag. Okay.
Yep.
Everybody across the world. Bill Ackerman, a huge bigwig on Wall Street, he sent $10,000.
10 grand.
Okay.
Yep.
When you look at all of these donations, I mean, it's sick. You've got $20, $25 all over the place, $100 here. I mean, it's
And
just
I'll tell
so
you,
many people.
they deserve every cent of it. Like, that's the thing. Like, they actually deserve it.
But isn't that how you counter protest? Right? I mean, isn't that how you do
Yes.
it? You
Yes.
get out there. I have no problem with this. I have no problem with this at all. It didn't come down to fisticuffs, right? It didn't come down. Nobody got bloody. The aggressors backed off, and they defended it. And nobody and from what my understanding is, they actually watch guard over it just to make sure nothing happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I love it.
I do too. I absolutely love it. And I'm, agree or disagree with the cause. I mean, I'm not necessarily backing the U.S. government. I do have pride in our flag still. I did serve in the United States military, and I have pride in the flag and what that used to mean to me. And so and this is what young men should do. This is what a man should do, especially
I would want
young
my
men.
kid doing this. Yes.
Yes, but all men should pick something that they believe in, and they should fight for it. Not with a fucking plastic shield, but to actually just stand up in the clothes you have on your back and say, nope, you're not going to take this flag down because it means something to me. That's huge. That's almost, dare I say, patriotic.
It is
like in the right
patriotic.
way. Yeah.
Yeah,
amazing.
It absolutely is, and I like I said, I absolutely love it. I really, really do, and I love that it didn't get violent.
Right.
That's how it should be. I don't have any problem with anybody
Same.
protesting. Protest all you want. Don't be an asshole about it.
Yeah.
And it's not. We're not at a point where I mean, it may come to the point where it may have to turn into that. I mean, let's be honest. Things are not going in a great direction, but at this point, for this kind of cause, it doesn't need to be. Oh, have a voice. No problem with that. You don't have to be an asshole about it. You don't have to block streets. You don't have to take over campuses. You don't have to take over libraries and turn it into, trash it and light it on fire. You don't have to do things like that. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it. And the way it's being done now, these encampments and these takeovers, it loses the message. You're a terrorist, just like the terrorists that you're basically advertising for. That's what it is. I love that they turned off the GoFundMe. They stopped it at $516,000, and now they're actually going to go back and they're going to send a lot of that money to charities, organizations within the fraternity. They're going to disperse it. It's not all going to go to a rager, but yeah, they're going to go ahead and have a little bit of fun with it. So I thought that was probably one of the cooler stories that came out of it.
Agreed. It's just a feel good story all the way around, and it does show you how much support can be out there if you do the right thing, and that was the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A very weird bill went in this week. I shouldn't say it went in. It went through the House. It hasn't gone through the Senate yet. I don't think it's going to get through the Senate.
I don't think we'll make it. But
this. Yeah. You caught this one, and I just didn't catch it. The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act. This actually made the New Testament illegal.
Illegal, you bet. And it makes, I mean, if you were this is of course hypothetical, but if you and I were to make a YouTube video about a person in our neighborhood who was doing bad things and making the neighborhood worse, and we happen to mention somewhere in there that they were Jewish, we could be arrested. Even if the issue wasn't the fact that they were Jewish, or that the fact that they were Jewish was making them do these things. We didn't mention any of that. We just said, hey, this is a really bad person. They're making our neighborhood worse. They're bringing crime, and shit's getting awful because of this person. And we're going to go down to the local synagogue and talk to somebody down there to see, boom, you're now illegal because you're inferring that a Jew is doing bad things. Apparently they can do no wrong. Up to and including anything that's in the Bible, shit that was written 2,000 years ago.
It really is. This one is, It's just absurd. It really is. I'm hoping that we'll probably look at that one more next week. Maybe. Well, yeah, we'll see what comes up next week.
I don't know when it makes
But-
it to the Senate. I don't know. I think it's probably this week. So, I mean, if it passes, my God, we will have a lot to talk about.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
All right, we're almost up on an hour, believe it or not. Actually, we are. We're just over an hour.
I was gonna say it's preposterous. It feels like it's been 10 minutes.
How did that beer finish for you?
It's not finished. So two things have happened as this thing's warmed up. One, the notes from this thing have really made themselves much more prominent. The banana's there for sure, still in great quantities. What has come out is a bit more of the booziness. I can now tell this is for sure an 8.9%er.
Okay.
It almost at this point I would even say this could even pass for like an 11-12%er. It's boozy. But it's smooth. My God, it's smooth. Like sometimes you get those farmhouse or those Belgians, and when they warm up they get really like almost too fizzy, almost too carbonated. This one has just smoothed out. I mean, it's like fucking glass now. So I've got probably two good swallows. That's what she said. I've got 2 more good swallows left of it. Great beer though. Really, really great beer. I'm very impressed. I just wish they had a better website. What about yours? How'd that finish?
I dig it. It's really, really good. As the beer warmed up and as it carried on, it got more goes and more sour. It lost the maltiness. The barrel even kind of waved in there nicely. I enjoyed it. I don't know that I would go back and get this again, but it was a fantastic experience. I will chalk it up to that, though.
Excellent. Well, we both started off the show very well, very strong.
Yep.
Strong like bull.
All right. Well, let's get into beer 2, and we'll be back with you guys in a minute.
Love it.
And we're back. Hey Fitz, I might make it a 3 beer night tonight just because I'm featuring Martin House, and the next beer is only at 12%. Or sorry, the next one's only a 12-ounce beer.
I mean, okay, but then that means I feel like I need to match you, man. Let's do this.
I like it. Or maybe the third beer will come for the after show. Yeah, let's do that because that's for our patrons, folks. Does that make sense?
All right. Yeah. Fair. No, that's fair.
All right. See, if you guys were all patrons out there and you guys were in chat, you'd hear the third beer. I'm absolutely jonesing for this.
What do you
Martin
got?
House Brewing, Acheron, Acheron, whiskey barrel-aged imperial stout. It's a 13.5%, brewed with a variety of 6 specialty malts, aged 6 months in whiskey barrels. This was
Damn.
brewed in August of last year. So check out this from. This is their write-up on it. In Dante's Inferno, the Acheron River forms the border of hell. At Martin House Brewing Company, Acheron is our deeply dark and ravishing imperial stout, aged 6 months in whiskey barrels and unblended for maximum barrel flavor. This 12% ABV, this one's actually 13.5, stout will satiate your sinuous desires for something bold, burly, boozy, and barbarous. Acheron is brewed with black malts, black barley, chocolate malts, crystal malts, and oats. It's finished with brown sugar and Columbus hops to balance its Leviathan body. Drinking this beer will help Charon determine your fate. I want to know what Karen's going to do with me tonight. And that's Karen, not Karen. No
Yeah.
Karens, please.
I think it's Sharon.
Is it Sharon? Charon? I thought it was Karen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fine. That's what
yeah.
it is too. But this is big, bad. Let me take another picture. One more for the Patreons because we love you guys. You guys got to see how freaking. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it in this light. That'll work. Thick head. Head's about an inch. And it will not go down.
Well,
Chocolate smell.
that's generally a good thing.
That is an Imperial Stout and a half. Yeah, that's an American Imperial Stout. Dry. Lots of malt, lots of barley. Big. It's rude.
Big bada boom.
Mouth watering. Yeah, that's a sip. That's a night beer. All right. Oh, go ahead. It's all you're up.
I'm up out of the batter's box and into the fire. That's not a actual thing, but I just made it one.
It is now.
Well, because you have your Martin House night, I figured I would go with a Block 15 night. So this is another offering by Block 15. Certainly not my favorite brewery here in Oregon, but they're solid. And I feel like they're underrepresented in general. So I'm representing tonight. This one is called Charmed Life. This is a Irish style red ale. So kind of back to the Killian's Red, that we used to partake in back in the day. Drank more than my share of Killian's Red. And actually the tradition behind the Irish Reds it's very storied and very historic, and almost like got down to starting like local fights, wars, because one town would say that their Irish Red was the true original, and then the next town over would say no, ours is the true original, and we fuck our sheep better. And then they're like, well, no, we should fuck our sheep better, and so it became a thing. But the Irish Red is kind of that you're in between a basic lager and a stout. You roast the barley just long enough that it gets a nice red hue to it, and it brings out some really nice flavor notes, but you're not getting the heavy stout thickness that you can get from some other beers. So anyway, this is a Charmed Life offering from Block 15. Let's see what we got. Oh, wow. Oh, that's nice. Going from the really strong banana flavors from that Belgian, that triple, this one is just this is like a beer's beer. Nice balance between the malts, the hops. You got the barley in there, everything. This is like when you sit down with your boys and you're like, I had a beer with the guys. This is a poker playing beer. Like I want to be sitting around with a bunch of chips, and everybody has one of these in their hands, and we're just drinking beer and talking shit. This is a great beer. Well done, Block 15. Wow. I would say it's not better than the first one I had. I would say it's as good. These rival each other, and this one's only a 5%er. I went a bit light on my second beer tonight, just because I have to teach class tomorrow and I don't want to be a fucking wreck. But
Gotcha.
It's really just a great beer, phenomenal and beautiful. It did pour a deep dark red amber, almost a blood red, not quite that thick and dark, but it's in that neighborhood. It's really quite beautiful.
I love a good red. Is it a filthy red or is it just a clean red?
It's clean. Very clean. You could.
Nice.
I mean,
Okay.
if this was a swimming pool, you'd be able to see all the way to the bottom.
Fitz, if Hefe was a beer, would he be clean or dirty?
Oh, he'd be so dirty.
So dirty.
Right.
So dirty. There he is.
Hefe, Fitz has a business proposition he wants to get to.
I got a question first.
All right. Go.
So I've been on this earth for, 48 years. And I don't think I've ever signed my name exactly the same way twice. Anyone else with me on that?
Yeah, totally. I change it every time I do it.
Like I got to sign for chips when they come to the table. Like when they reload the rack, if you will.
Yeah.
You got to sign for those. And I would just wonder, like who is this? Who's this person? Oh, it's that dealer Jeff. Because it's just never the same.
And why do you think that is? Like, are you signing at different altitudes? Like, and I don't mean like in an airplane, or I just mean like, are you signing sometimes on your leg and then sometimes on the table and then sometimes?
No,
I feel like. Oh, go ahead.
You could give me a notebook and a desk and say sign it 10 times and it would look different every time, unless I really like totally slowed down and like deliberately tried to make it exactly the same. But if I'm just like signing something quickly, it's a mess.
I do the
Gibberish.
same thing.
First. Yeah.
Like if somebody showed me my signature, I would be able to tell them, yeah, that was my signature. But I don't try to sign it the same way anymore, unless it's like something for like the IRS or something. Then I'll sign it and it's like on point. But like I'm signing for a check or something, or a tip or receipt. I don't, whatever. I just
Well, I'm in the other school. I'm with Beard. I mean, if you give me a pad of paper and had me sign my name 100 times on one sheet, 50 on the left, 50 on the right, they would. I'm not going to say exactly identical. I'm not a fucking computer, but they would all be identical. I mean, you really wouldn't be able to tell much of a difference between them. But what does change things is when I have to sign like digitally on those fucking pads that they give you at restaurants and shit. I mean, that's stupid. I mean, fuck off. Or like if I'm trying to sign on my leg, I'm trying to put the pad of paper down there, or it's up too high, that'll change things. But if I'm sitting at my desk, and the reason I know this is because, every time one of our patrons, one of our kiddos gets hurt, we have to do an incident report, and then it goes to the supervisor, which is me, and I have to read through it and make sure that my staff did everything correct, and then I have to sign off on it and send it to our risk specialist. And so I go through probably, I mean, I'm working with preschoolers, so there's like 10 a day. I mean, kids, they're clumsy, they fall, they get hurt, and they bounce back up and they run, but we still have to do an incident report because they're bleeding. And so, yeah, I sign a lot of those every day, and my signature is pretty much the exact same every time.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your business proposition?
Okay. So first of all, a question. I'm posing a question to the two of you. Also, those of you in chat, you can play along. You guys are familiar with Build-A-Bear, right? You know Build-A-Bear?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. What's so cool about Build-A-Bear? What's the draw to Build-A-Bear?
Kids and they can go ahead and customize a bear to fit what they want. It's perfected for them.
Right. Customization, right? That's my point. I was sitting on the John doing my thing. And this epiphany came to me. What if we started a business that was called Build a Beer? And you sit down at the bar and you say to the bartender, I want a stout. I'd like a hint of raspberry, some chocolate, and I would like it to be, barrel aged. I'd like the ABV to be 12 plus. And then he could go over and go to the 12 plus barrel and pour the beer, but then add some drops of flavoring or some essence of peppermint or raspberry, whatever you want. Like you're building a beer on the spot as you go. It's build a beer. And our logo would have a little fucking bear on it, of course, because we want people to think about Build-A-Bear and all the great experience they had with kids with Build-A-Bear, but ours is Build a Beer. What do you think?
I think that'd be awesome.
I like it.
I think it'd be fantastic. I think it'd be tough because of the time involved if you're going to do right. But I think it's a fantastic idea.
Do not kill my fucking vibe here. We're not talking logistics
yet. Don't overthink
yet.
it. Okay.
Yeah. Don't overthink it. It's just build a beer. This was my fucking sitting on the shitter, and I was like, "What about a build a beer for adults?"
I think you got something. So the brewer's doing all the work, but you buy all the necessary ingredients to make it. Then they'll brew it for you.
Sure. And you could even do like a. Well, and that's the thing. You could even do like a sponsorship program. Like someone comes in, they're like, "Hey, I'm having a function for my company. You know, it's our 10-year anniversary next month. I would like you to build this beer. It's an imperial stout with vanilla and cocoa, and then boom, they build it and they brew it and it sits for a month, and then you come in with your company and you have a huge bash, and it costs $10,000, but everybody has a great fucking time." And it's the best beer they ever had. And then you're like, hey, we reserve the rights to steal that recipe because it was such a big hit. We're going to sell it as one of our taps now at our tap house.
Sure. Why not?
And you could even branch out and be like, you could then go to like build a booze. Like you could have your own custom vodkas and
distillery,
tequilas. Yeah. And wines, whatever you want. You could do this. And it's all based off of, kids.
Aaron wants you to do stout flavored meth. Can you do that for him?
Oh, I have some of that, dude. I have some of that. I will send that to you. Yeah. All you do is
build a buzz.
You just slightly cook it. Yeah.
Aaron is honestly build a buzz. We can do everything. We can have pot lines. We can have we can totally do this.
Oh yeah, you could have a whole shroom.
Aaron, you just fucking nailed it. That's fantastic.
Okay. All right. I'm glad everybody's on board.
I think we're in.
This is a moneymaker. This is what's going to keep Whiskey Hell going.
Love it.
Our franchise of build a beer and then build a buzz. We're off and running. Maybe our little logo is a bee, a little stuffed bee.
That could work.
Oh.
I like it. Hefe, so Tabby's in chat and she's like absolutely horny for a farm report. Do you have the one from last week that you didn't get to do?
I don't.
Ooh.
I don't have it.
Ouch.
Oh.
Ouch.
Ooh. I just went from midnight to 6, dude. Whoa.
Hefe,
womp, womp.
You gotta have these from week to week, man. Everybody's they want to hear they want to hear it. This is better than they're actually waiting for that 5 minutes out of the whole 2 hours and 15-minute show. Your 5 minutes is actually the gold.
Tabby's dry now. And dude, I do not want to have to say this. It hurts me to say this, but I'm gonna rip out the big D. And no, ladies, it's not what you're thinking. I'm ripping out that my mom will be disappointed that she's not gonna get a farm report. Oh yeah, the big D.
Unless you got something up your sleeve.
Jesus.
We put him on the spot. Sorry, FA.
He's looking on something on his phone. He is, and I'm all about it.
Get a shitty signal out here.
That's what she said.
He's Hefe's driving through a tunnel right now.
Yeah,
Bear with him.
constantly driving through a tunnel.
That's okay. That's okay. You don't have to have one. It's all right. All
Yeah. Beer deliveries like, and suddenly there were no more patrons. They're all gone. No chat. They stopped paying. They don't want to be a part of the after show. Fuck you guys. No farm report. I'm out.
All right. I wanted to ask Hefe this though.
Oh yeah,
Dave,
no, this is a good one. This is a Hefe. This is right in his wheelhouse, right?
Hefe, you take your kids to Dave and Buster's, right?
Gone once.
All right. So what if I told you they're going to start offering betting in between video games?
We're gonna go to Dave Buster's more.
Damn straight.
So arcade giant Dave & Buster's is taking its games to a new level. This is a CNBC article, so this is their business side. Customers can soon make a friendly $5 wager on a Hot Shots basketball game, a bet on skee ball competition, or on another arcade game. They don't have it listed here. The betting function expected to launch in the next few months will work through the company's app. So you're going to be able to go and wager against each other to see who can dominate Pop-A-Shot.
I mean, I kind of like it. I don't understand. I mean, how do you like? What are the odds? Like if I just say, hey, McShane, I could beat you in Pac-Man. Here's $5 says I can beat you in Pac-Man. I can get farther than you can. Then at the end of that, you beat me, you get the $5. How does Dave and Buster's make any money off of this? Like, how are the odds? How do you make that work? What's going on?
Well, you got to figure they're bringing more people in because all of a sudden now it's turned into like a pool hall, right? Only somebody's actually holding the money, so you can play some. Okay. You can go up against somebody, and you're just going to pull in more people using your games.
So I'm officially challenging you, McShane. I can get further on Pac-Man, and so now everybody in chat can say, "Okay, yeah, okay, I think Fitz can beat him." Or some people are like, "Fuck that, McShane's the Pac-Man man,
Right.
the Pac-Man," and he can definitely beat Fitz. And then they wager, and then somebody walks away with a grip of money playing a fucking video game.
So it looks like. Sorry, go ahead, Hefe.
No, I don't. It just seems weird. Seems like you could rig it pretty easily.
Why, you mean like the NFL?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, then it's the same. It's the same.
I gotta go.
All right, man.
All right, Hefe. Catch
Have
you
a
later.
good rest of your night, dude. All right, later.
All right, so this week, published May 1st, and this is a really, really fun site if you guys want to go and get on there and hang out on it a little bit. This is the War Zone. Very
War
tech
Zone.
heavy. Yeah, I mean, it is all air, sea, land, space, nuclear. They've got stories every day about different stuff that's happening with basically war.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is all cool shit. Now, we haven't seen much as far as the like drones in the sea, but they broke this story with the Manta ray underwater drone. This was considered a UUV, so underwater unmanned vehicle, and this thing is massive. It looks like a manta ray, and it's probably, God, what is that, 20 feet, 30 feet wide, about 10 feet?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 20. Yeah,
15 feet
25
deep.
to 30 feet wide. Yep.
It's got propellers on each wing for stability, and this is scary.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really go into this they go into the specs and kind of what it does. They didn't go into any of its capabilities. I mean, is this thing carrying like, thermonuclear, nukes on it, or is it a bunch of torpedoes? Is it just for surveillance? And I always find it fascinating and almost like painfully obvious, but more to the point of fascinating when, they develop these amazing military vehicles and they they echo the actual thing in nature. I mean, this thing's called a manta ray. It looks like an exact manta ray. Um, I know I told you the story of I was snorkeling off of the coast of Costa Rica a few years back on a little island called Kano Island, and it's a really small little like coral reef. And so you have this coral reef that's, you know, 6 maybe 7 feet deep, and then behind you is the continental shelf, so it drops off into like absolute black water. And I'm sitting there looking at these little clownfish on the reef, and my back is to the blackness of the abyss, and I felt it. I felt something weird, and I looked and I turned around, and I mean, easily 20 foot, maybe bigger, I don't know, you know, I basically shit myself size manta ray comes out of the black, swoops and gets within, I don't know, 10 feet of me, turns, banks, and goes back down and disappears into the black. But it looked exactly like that. Exactly like that thing. I mean, that's what manta rays look like, basically. And so that's always fascinating to me when, like, you know, actual engineers are like, they're like, hey, let's just copy the real thing. Let's just copy nature because it's the most efficient, amazing thing we can do.
Well,
So cool.
it also harkens back to all the other research that's been done when we talk about dolphins being used for being able to find mines,
Right.
undersea mines, or being able to swim up to different vessels and supposedly being able to lay a mine on the side of it. You've got other things like that. This is just absolutely wild. And like you're saying, I
Yeah.
mean, the design mimics nature, which nature manta rays they're the birds of the sea. They're damn near perfect. You're not going to know they're there, and like you experienced, you're not going to know them until they're there. Now, this is something that I was very, very interested in. Was this device, this drone? You can go ahead and send it out ahead. It's considered a long range, long duration drone. You can take it out and you can go ahead and just leave it on the bottom on the ocean floor and just wait to use it. They did explain that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a first strike weapon.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like I wonder what's in the heart of that thing. I'm guessing you could. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying you could probably arm that thing with a thermonuclear weapon and just park it 10 feet off of the the coast of Beijing and just let it go. I mean, I could be wrong, but that that would be devastating. You might not get the nuclear effect, but you would get a 700-foot wall of water.
Oh
That
yeah.
would just, it would just crush everything. So,
Well,
um,
I mean, let's think it through. I mean, China only has what, one, maybe two aircraft carriers.
yeah, and yeah, that's exactly right. They're in the middle. I think they're in the middle of building their fourth. So they have three.
Okay. So you could cripple a fleet in no time with something like this,
Oh yeah.
especially if you
Yep.
can, if you know that we're going to go ahead and do something on July 4th, we'll say, and you park it there on July 1st, and then you wait 3 days, and then you throw it into an action. I'm just saying that is pretty amazing, and this isn't even their XL version. They have an extra large
Right.
version, which is
Yeah.
called Orca.
Yeah.
And what do orcas
I mean,
do?
right. They are the apex predator. I mean, we've all seen the videos of the orcas, absolutely dominating a great white shark. I mean, that's who great whites are afraid of is orcas. And they're mammals. I mean, they're smart. They're cunning. So yeah, I mean,
So
I think every time we see one of these articles, and DARPA is either directly or peripherally involved in it, it's equal parts just fascinating and like awe-inspiring, like that's so cool. And then on the other side of it, it's just fucking terrifying. Like this shit's
yeah,
just out there.
yeah. But all right, so I'm gonna go gigantic erection American for a second.
Yeah.
Isn't this the stuff that you want to see?
Yes. America. Fuck yeah.
Exactly.
Yes,
I
sure.
want to see
For sure.
rail guns. I want to see fucking space lasers. I want to see us show me that we're actually as hard as we fucking act.
Yeah.
I don't want us to use it.
Yep.
I don't want us to have to use it.
Yeah.
I want us to go, throwing our weight around. But I need to know that, if push comes to shove, we've got stuff like this out there that can actually be utilized. This is kind of a big deal, I think.
Yeah. Same.
And it's fucking gorgeous. Look at that thing. God damn. Look at show notes. You guys look at it.
Yeah. Definitely look it up. It's one of the reasons I listen to. I've been getting into the Sean Ryan podcast lately, and he was a Navy SEAL. He was a special operator, and I would say 80% of his guests are special operators also, and he has them kind of tell war stories, like just shit that went down, and the stories that come out. First of all, you just go, wow, these guys are just a different breed. Secondly, the fact that they are equipped with such high-tech shit, and it gives them such a high advantage. It's kind of like what you were talking about just now. It's like, I want to know that these guys have the best possible stuff available to them. That's what I want. And just hearing these stories, it's like, yeah, they do. They got shit that the enemy just doesn't have, and it gives them a massive advantage, and that's cool.
Make me happier about the $8 billion that the Pentagon, lost.
Right.
Just
right.
Make me happier that that's what it's going towards, and it's not going towards, shoveling coke someplace or fentanyl in San Francisco. That's all I need.
Right. Or some Iran, Contra deal where the fucking our American weapons are going to fund terrorist groups. Like, come on.
Why don't we have like a cable station that's just America fuck yeah? Okay, so it's AFY. Okay, that's the station, the America fuck yeah channel.
The AFY. I'm in.
And all it is just cool shit that we're doing. And and we're actually committing to doing cool shit, not just like the current flavor of bullshit like ATF raids and the FBI fucking off, and senators getting caught with pedo stuff like that. Why can't we do that?
Just murdering innocent citizens in another country. Yeah, I agree. Like, just like the really actual cool shit.
Right.
And not that we do.
Yeah, and not that we gave an NGO $4 million to bring 7.8 million immigrants into the country. Like, just let's do some cool shit. That's all I want. Our marketing sucks. Have you noticed that?
Well, our marketing has this laissez-faire attitude of like, here's what we're doing. Fuck off. Like, I don't care if you like it or not. This is what we're doing. Fuck you. Especially lately. Like, I mean, they used to like try and sell us on it. Now they're like, nah, this is what we're doing, and there's nothing you can do about it. So eat a dick.
I think they need to hire us to do their marketing for them.
Oh, okay.
I would do that.
The Whiskey Hell consulting firm. I for sure.
I think we could totally do that. I would be into it, totally into it. No problem with it. We can make nukes sound really, really good.
I mean, I could sell a nuke to a Russian. That was a sorry attempt at saying I could sell ice to an Eskimo, but I don't. I mean, you get the idea.
Well, no, but the nerd in me wanted to go, do you know how many nukes they actually have? They've got around 5,600 nukes in their arsenal. I saw that stat the other day. That's how nerdy I am, and I apologize for being that nerdy. But
no, dude, I think Carl Sagan, like, one of his best quotes. I mean, there's a lot of quotes going around attributed to Carl Sagan that he never said, but one of his best quotes that he actually did say is, he said about the nuclear arms race, he said it's like the United States and Russia are standing in a room filled waist deep with gasoline, and they are arguing over who has the most matches. I just think that's a brilliant quote. That's a brilliant way to put the whole fucking thing. Like, all it takes is one, dude. All it takes is one, and then we're all fucking dead.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Yeah. So
hey, So Boston Dynamics has retired HD Atlas.
Atlas. Oh, I miss Atlas. There were so many great videos about Atlas and so many amazing. I love this compilation video because it shows all the times Atlas just absolutely just
Sucked.
failed, just took a shit. Yeah, just didn't do what it was supposed to do. I mean, my
Blows an
God.
ACL. It starts dancing and falls over. Tries to break dance. Try to do. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, it's such a great video. It's really
Look at.
fun to watch.
But here's
Yeah, here's the upgrade.
the scary
And
shit.
so just quickly before we talk about this video, Lex Friedman did a phenomenal, just phenomenal interview with the head of the robotics department for Boston Dynamics. And one of the things, there was lots of just amazing things that they talked about in that discussion. But one of the things that the engineer, that the head of their robotics department had said, I can't remember his name. I should have been better equipped for this discussion. But one of the things he said, the equations, the calculus, the programming that we had to do in order for Atlas to jump from one box to another box, like in other words, an elevated position to a higher elevated position, said that code took about 6 years to write.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So number one, that makes you appreciate that what our brains are doing when you just throw a ball. When you throw a ball from the outfield and it's on a fucking dime to the catcher, how many feet is that? And what was the calculation in your head? You knew exactly how hard to throw that. You didn't throw it too hard. You didn't throw it not hard enough. It was on a dime. How hard is that? So that already is just blows your mind. But second of all, then you look at what Atlas could do. Flips, back flips, forward flips, somersaults, side rolls, dancing. All of that code had to be created. That was not just like he was born and he learned it. It had to be created. Fucking amazing. Amazing. And then now here we have Atlas Part 2, and it's fucking freaky scary, dude. What was that move it just did? What was that?
I don't know. So it pretty much, it seems like it can go and stand up from any position. It's not bound by what normal human physics or normal human anatomy would be. It's the joints. It just moved. The joints are 360. The head looks like it's 360. It's just absolutely scary. So they Boston Dynamics, working with Darpa, retired the old HD Atlas platform. So old Atlas is gone, and now they've got this Terminator freak that is just frightening. It is. This is the stuff that nightmares are made of.
Yeah. What is it, like 6 times stronger? Like they doubled the hydraulics and shit to make this thing move. The servos are like double actuated, so even if one set of servos goes down, it's got redundancy. It just, the backup ones just take over. I mean, this is literally Terminator shit where you just go, okay, we're fucked. So fucked.
What I want to know is, so immediately I went to how do I defeat this thing, and I'm thinking I could go ahead and take that down with a paintball gun, right to the face. But I don't know what else it has in there. What else is it using to triangulate targets? Let's just we're gonna skip this. There's nothing nice about this. We're gonna stick to this being an enemy. We're just gonna do it because that's the only thing you can think of.
Well, because if DARPA's involved, then it's being designed to kill people or to corral people.
Yes, that's what DARPA does. Period.
Right.
But it's a humanoid robot. It is built to look like a human. Only imagine if you were this freakish horror film ghoul, and you were on the ground, and suddenly you were able to get up by throwing your legs over your head and standing straight up, right? And then you're facing the wrong way. But you go ahead and you turn your whole torso around to go the other way, including your head, and you just start walking towards whatever your target is. This is scary shit. This is really scary stuff.
I'm definitely so you're talking about how do you defeat this shit, and I do more than enough. Probably it's alarming how much I think about this kind of thing.
Because it's
Because I'll be in
fun.
the
It's
Oh
fun.
yeah, it's fun, and it's like a way for me not to think about work and like the actual pressures I have on my life. But I think nature has also solved this problem. I think you go with um the spider school of thought, which is just wrap it up in rope or a
Yeah.
fishing line or something like that.
Bolos.
Where it just, the more it moves, the more it entangles itself. I mean, we've all seen, a fly hit a spider web, and it's not the initial hit that does you in, it's the struggle. The more you struggle, it's like fucking quicksand. You just get tied up more and more and more into the shit that you're in. And I think that's the way to do it. Bolos, nets, um, because listen, yeah, I mean, you can have a green tip, fucking 5.56 and try and shoot this thing, but all they're gonna do is be like, okay, we'll just put multiple CPUs in it. So if you take one out, the other one just takes over. They just create redundancies. But if you wrap it up so it's immobile, it's not it. I mean, it's done. It's not going anywhere. So that's my take on it. That's what I would do. Invest in fishing line, I guess.
Well, and also you'd think that they have battery issues, right? And we can't get a battery on a car that can last,
Right.
more
Right.
than, you know, you're not going to find anything that's going over 400 miles. So you've got this thing that's trying to tramps around. It can't be gone for long.
I think in the article they said it has an 8-hour battery life, 8 hour of constant movement.
Okay, so 4 hours out,
so
4 hours back.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. So you've got a range now, and you also know if you can outlast it for 4 hours, I mean, it can keep coming for you, but it's not going to get back home.
Tabby really wants an 8-hour battery life.
I,
I'm really surprised. Speaking of, we're gonna go down vibrator lane real quick. I'm gonna change directions here. I thought you were gonna say build a dildo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought build a dildo was gonna be your.
I mean,
your
that
pitch.
could be an arm. That's a buzz, right? That's a build a buzz.
It absolutely.
It's
Oh my
it's a very
god!
different buzz.
Okay, so we've got build a buzz, right? It's
Right.
not just pot. It's not just alcohol. It's not just meth or whatever. But you can also throw in sex toys too.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a win-win. And then you slap in, and then you give the Darpa Atlas those toys to use. You're done.
Well, I mean, that was one thing, honestly, that I was disappointed in with the movie I, Robot. Everybody had this personal assistant that was going to take care of you and whatever.
Yeah.
And you're telling me nobody turned that into a sex robot? Come
It
on.
had to have been.
Bullshit. It was a fucking fake movie. It's not real.
So Jay in chat wants to call it Bildo.
Okay. That can be the dildo arm of Build-A-Buzz.
That is the dildo arm.
Yeah.
Or
It's
dildo the size
just
of
called
an arm.
Bildo. Yeah, it's just called Bildo. Because, I mean, let's be honest. You don't want to have a huge company name like, build your own dildo on the side of a dildo. It just needs to say Bildo.
Hey, did you get any of the crypto? It's called Live Mom. Is the crypto?
I did not buy any of this. Although I was tempted. I'm not going to lie to you. She has really, really nice tits.
You can't really hear it.
Her
real
kid's
well,
there. Yeah.
but her kid launches a coin. It's a shit coin, right? It's an altcoin. And the whole point of it is to get his mom naked. So the more you buy, the more apt she is to get naked. So he has all these coins, and then it's a dump, right?
We should probably say that this kid is like maybe 12 maybe. I mean, he's not like a
maybe
28-year-old
15.
guy trying to get his
No.
mom's tits on the internet. He's like 12.
Yeah. There's some borderline.
Yeah.
pedo
I
stuff
mean, this
going
is
here.
DHS probably should be involved. No, especially when she's like, let's get it so we can pour milk on him. I mean, look at this. She's taking her fucking clothes off, and her kid's right there. What the hell? What is happening?
The whole idea is they're on this stream, and he's pumping up this crypto, and the more everybody buys, the closer it is to her taking off her top. And the next day, there was a Syscoin. There's actually a Syscoin out there now.
Yeah,
and she was supposed to take. And I think it was actually a dude. I don't think it was a chick. I thought it didn't look like a chick.
Oh, you went and checked it out?
Well, it popped up on this on Doom.
Okay.
Doomhammer's. Yeah, it was on Doom. Yeah, I didn't go hunting it down. I didn't have to. It was right there.
Well, I don't know. I don't look, dude. No judgment, but I don't know what you're doing out there. I don't know.
Oh.
And I fully support whatever it is.
Just go find the content. That's what it was. It was all for content.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So anyway, I don't know that she ever got like fully naked, but that was an eye-opening use of. What the hell is this?
That's a weight rack with different dildos on it. That's meant for weights.
Oh my
Somebody
God.
Racked it up like a fucking wine rack. They racked it up with a bunch of different sized dildo. That pink one, that's impressive. That could be used for home defense.
Well,
oh, that is the dildo storefront.
It is.
We
the
just
dildo
have racks
storefront.
of that in the fucking in the window front, in the storefront.
So we'll throw this up in show notes. This is from Wendelin at Wendy Loves LUVZ. She's does some pretty outrageous stuff, but this is a rack of dildos. We have an eggplant shaped one, a carrot shaped one,
what's that?
And I don't know what you're putting this in.
No. What's that one? Third rack down, first position. What is that
one?
Do?
Oh, that's very simple.
Is that a suction cup?
Yes, it is. So
Okay.
you put it's a ring, it isolates the clit, and then you've got a tongue in there that starts licking.
Yeah, well, what's the other end for? Does that go in you? Or like I mean not you, but your partner?
It could go in your partner, or you could switch it around if you want to, get a little more of
I see. So it's like just dual sided. You just flip it around.
Right. But if you've got a partner, it could be like a double sided thing. So, you've got it on there and she's got it and she's in doggy, and you could totally do that. No, totally works.
I have to believe that, evolutionarily speaking, at some point, like women craved a penis, like an actual man's penis. Like that guy, I want that guy inside of me. And I mean, otherwise none of us would be here, right? But this is a whole other level of debauchery where, I mean, let's be honest, ladies, if I was looking at this and then I saw me naked, I'd be like, give me, row 2, fourth one in. I'm taking that. Fitz is not going to measure up to that. I'm going to have fun with that. And Fitz, you can go fuck yourself. Go find Rosie. I mean, well, how can I compete with that? I cannot.
Well, it makes you wonder, because how do you compete with the corn cob
or the asparagus or the fucking eggplant?
Or the asparagus, or any of those three? Because if you think about it, how ribbed is that for her pleasure?
Exactly.
Oh my God!
I don't have those natural features. Now, what I do have is, I'm funny at times.
You could tell her jokes during it. Yeah.
Yep. I give a shit. I can shoot a gun. I can fight. Right. I can cook. I'm an okay cook. But I can't compete with any of this on this rack. Just pure sexual dominance. I can't compete with any of that.
But I want you to sit, I want you to go a totally different direction with this. I want you to sit there and I want you to think about, close your eyes, Fitz.
Okay.
Close your eyes. All right.
All right.
You're there.
They're closed.
You're there. You're with your lady, and
Okay.
she goes, honey, get out the asparagus. And you're an artist. You're gonna go. All right. Hey, artists don't necessarily paint with one brush.
Sure. No. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. No.
Right?
Judgment. Okay.
Yeah. No. Absolutely not.
I grab
You
the
go
asparagus.
and you grab the asparagus, right? And then she says, "You know what? I want the corn cob too." Now you're sitting there, and you've got a corn cob going in a piece of asparagus. At the same time, are you an artist? Are you a chef? I don't know, but you are a pleasure market happening.
I'll be honest. At that point, I'm a cinematographer. I'm selling this shit. Someone's gonna watch me insert these things into my lovely. Not mine, but my wife's or whatever, my partner's. I mean, no one wants to see me stick a corn cob up my ass, but they certainly want to see a beautiful woman.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't
and
you?
So, right. No, I mean, I'm into it. I'm a free market. I'm an equal opportunity. But on the flip side, like, let's say I go to town with the corn and the asparagus and the eggplant. Like there needs to be some sort of not reward, but payoff on the other end of that. Like, what do I get?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I think and I'm spitballing here, but I think that the pleasure that a lady would get from these artificial insertions would greatly exceed the pleasure that I would get from some mechanical monstrosity, whack off machine.
Correct.
I'll take a real living, red-blooded human heat mouth on me any day over anything mechanical that I've ever seen or experienced. Yeah. So
totally.
So
Totally.
I'm saying, like, look, I'll stick anything you want in you. I mean, I'm up for it, but I also, like, if I'm gonna do that, if we're gonna play like that, then I want what I want too. That's all.
Well, okay. So I'm gonna go and throw this out there for you, and this is one of my philosophies. This is your inside the mind of McShane.
Okay.
You're gonna go ahead and use that, right? And you're gonna do everything that she wants. You're gonna rock the whole world. Absolutely, she's done, spent, and just. But then you get to, it's playtime for me. You get to do whatever you want. That's only fair. There are really, really great upsides to this technique. I'm just saying. 'Cause so spent, so done. I'm just, and you just go crazy, wherever you want, whatever you want, whenever you want. I'm just saying, and it's still enjoyable for everybody.
Well, I guess that's the goal. I mean, at least it is for us. I know a lot of guys out there are just like, hair in a hole.
Yeah, it's not fun though.
I don't give a shit if she feels me or not. No, exactly. That's like nobody cares about those guys. Those guys you're useless. You're a dead generation. Fuck off.
Correct.
I'm in for the Kama Sutra, the fucking yin and yang. Like, look, I'm gonna give you my energy, but you need to give me yours too. Like, this is a loop back, a total feedback loop is what I meant to say.
You want to close the circle.
Yeah, exactly. The circuit gets connected, and the parts are greater than the sum is greater than the parts is what I mean to say. And that's the experience I'm looking for. So I don't know. In 100 years, are we going to still be talking about like new crazier dildos, or are we going to be like, hey, we kind of had it wrong back in the early 2000s. We probably should actually connect as humans. I don't know.
It's been a good night. It's been a really, really good night, Fitz.
Yeah, it's been a weird night. We didn't get to a lot of stuff, which is crazy because we really didn't have a huge doc, not like we have had in the past. And we still didn't get to a lot of stuff, which is fine. I this is what the show has become is us sort of railing on what we need to rail on, and then coming together and really discussing some alternative news. And tonight was exactly that. And guys, the theme of our show is always to think critically and act accordingly. Any of the stuff you find in our show notes and you go and click on it, please, just look at it from a point of view of like, wow, this is interesting, it's happening, but what do I think about it? Because we're not here to tell you how to think, certainly. Nor do we want to. So yeah, interesting show tonight, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm a little envious. You're the one that's on the road, but next week I will be on the road, and I will be with you and Hefe in person live. And we have zero plans yet, and yet I kind of feel like we have a plan, and it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be pretty fun. So we're looking forward to it. We're going to hit a couple breweries. We're still going to put out a show next week.
Yep.
We're not sure how that's going to evolve necessarily. We're going to play it the same way that we usually do. But we're going to kind of roll with whatever happens while we're out in the wild. So we are still going to record. You're going to hear, it's going to be us on site wherever we end up. So the recording is going to be a little bit different. But we're going to try and hit a few breweries, maybe a couple tap houses, and just see where the day goes. You get in around 1:30, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, let's go with that. I it might be a little bit
Around
earlier than that, but yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take. I've taken the day off, so there's that. And Hefe is going to be getting a lot of time off too. So we'll all be in person a lot, and we'll see what happens. But we're freaking jacked to see you.
Yeah. Same. I'm excited to be there back home. It's kind of a dual trip, dual purpose trip, but the fact that I get to see you guys and be in person with everybody, it's gonna be fun one way or the other. Even if you guys don't like what we record, we're gonna fucking love it. So that's all that matters.
That's what we're working for.
Yep.
And we'll make sure there's at least one farm report.
At least one, possibly several. I may even bring one just to make sure we're hitting that, we're checking that box.
So what beer are you taking to Ben?
Oh shit, that's a great question. I honestly, if I had to choose between these two, and I'm going to choose, tonight is not a threesome night for sure.
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna go with the triple. I'm going with the Belgium. That one was called Illuminated, and I number one, I love blondes. I always have, always will. So that's that. But also, that one was a bit more complex. The Charmed Life, the Irish Red. I mean, like I said, it was just like such a quintessential beer, but it was also kind of basic. And so I'm not saying I'm kicking her out of bed. I'm saying, given the choice, I'm definitely going with the triple. Much more complex, much more, the girl that you want to go and have breakfast with the next morning. The Irish Red is like, that was a great night. Get the fuck out. So that's where I'm going. What about you?
I don't know, but Joe Bonnick just said pigs in heat smell like maple syrup. That's your farm report.
That's actually, I think that's accurate. That's right.
Oh, I'm going with Asheron.
Okay.
Again,
All right. Yeah.
Martin House Brewing. I'm going with Asheron. A very, very good imperial stout. Not a sex beer by any means, but 13.5. Just a fantastic American imperial. Very happy with it. Thank
You
you,
know, not
to.
not. Oh yeah, sorry. No,
No,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry.
Go.
I'm just one last fucking dickhead thing to say. I'm not trying to be like super patriotic or anything, but the Russians, they invented the imperial stout. I feel like the Americans perfected it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely on
Yeah.
point. Then we came along and said, well, we've got to have an American version, so we'll go ahead and make ours drier. Well, I actually
Yeah,
like
right.
Russian Imperials better, just saying. That doesn't make me a
Yeah.
communist, okay? I'm not a communist because of that.
You're going down, Tucker Carlson. How dare you talk to Putin? What?
You motherfucker. But I do dig this beer. I do totally dig this beer.
Yeah.
Huge thank you to everybody who's in chat. Ashley was actually here,
yeah.
and so is Jay. So thank you very much for jumping in here. We had Beer to Liberty, Buttercup. Oh, Ashley, you're still here. I didn't realize you're still here. Aaron, Jobonic, L, Mike, Tabby. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
And of course, Hefe.
And of course, Hefe, too.
Yep.
We appreciate you guys listening. It is at whiskey_hell on X and whiskeyhellpod.com. Go to the website. You'll catch everything that we got on there. So I am done tomorrow with Fort Worth. I'm looking forward to getting back home. But we appreciate you guys listening. I'm Steve McShane.
I'm Fitz.
Think critically.
Act accordingly.
We'll talk to you soon.